Here's the writer's Allman Brother for Friday, April 10th, 2026. It's the birthday of Joseph Pulitzer, born 1847, the son of two haunted statuettes who came to life one evening in a reliquary that belonged to the Hungarian vampire you think I'm talking about. Young Joseph grew up in a town that is literally called Pest. It's the nicer part of Budapest. No one wants to live in Buda. It smells like lilac and sanctimony. At 17, he came to the States and, like all newspapermen, failed at every other profession first. Soldier, watron, mule attendant, chess figurine, luxurious Band-Aid. According to legend, he and a friend were punched in the head on a riverboat, and Pulitzer wrote a paragraph about it. Someone stapled it to the back of an editor in St. Louis whose concubine spied it in a ceiling mirror. Said, "That's pretty good." Pulitzer was hired. Thought to himself, maybe someday I'll win one of those Pulitzer Prizes that I'm named after, but he never did. Devoted as he was to the purveyance of yellow journalism, which involved urinating on a piece of parchment paper and then writing down what you think it says. William Hearst would soon follow in Pulitzer's footsteps. Literally, he walked behind him for 30 days until both men found themselves in Washington, D.C., pretending to be congressional representatives. At the height of their careers, they kept buying each other's media empires and driving them into the ground. Finally, Hearst prevailed by not dying and now owns every information source in the English-speaking world and also 4 pornographic websites based in Budapest. It was on this day in 1849, 2 years after Pulitzer pushed out of his mama's astral portal, that the safety pin was patented by Walter Hunt in New York City. He ultimately sold off his patent rights for $400, which in today's money would be enough to rent an extra special vehicle to drive into the ocean out of regret. Every punk rocker is a living voodoo doll of Hunt. One prick, he spins in his casket like a lemon slot machine. If you want to destroy my sweater, hand it to a 1970s-era Nancy Spungen. It was today in 1887 that Abraham Lincoln was reburied next to his wife Mary Todd in Springfield, Illinois, prompting her to roll her eyes and go, "Ugh, this asshole again. Till death do us whatever. Does a vow mean nothing?" It's the birthday of human postcard Paul Theroux, who's been ferried around the globe in every conveyance known and those yet to be known, including dirigible, paper airplane, text message, fake accent, and transient sperm donor. His travel writings defined the genre, even though, or perhaps because, he was born in Medford, Massachusetts, which is pronounced Metha if you're from there, and not pronounced at all if you are not. And it's the birthday of Anne Lamott, who was somehow still a white person with dreadlocks. She was born in San Francisco, which makes sense, in a caravan filled with cancerous parents and the ghosts of future addiction and aphoristic healing. As she began to write, she noticed she was writing, and also that a lot of times she was not writing, so she wrote about that, which everyone wanted to hear a lot more about. Her philosophy boiled down to an oft-repeated anecdote about the night she was at a party in London in 1975 with Mick Jagger, the two of them surrounded by gorgeous women. Surrounded. Seemingly countless attractive young British female hangers-on, all wanting the carnal attention of the rollingest of stones. Mick was perplexed. "How?" he asked Anne. "How can I ever hope to satisfy so many enthusiastically solicitous English women?" Anne put her arm around him, looked in his eyes, shook her head, and said, "You know, Mick, you're just going to have to take it bird by bird." Here's a poem for today by Hayley Stahl, entitled, "I'd like to make 5 or 6 points about." The desert, magazine quizzes, patio furniture, generous eye contact, old movies, new movies, the Iliad, the Talmud, dance, dirt, oppressive eye contact, summertime, the Midwest, the moon to some extent, the cyclical nature of things, wonder, things that don't really matter, hand-washing, gravity, breasts, the way a woman loves a dog, multiplexes, clouds as a concept, producers of bad TV, mess, spite, Los Angeles, art in America, familiar quotations, gossip companions, regression, restaurants, hands, jobs, heartbreak, nursing in America, the future, the fixture, unresolved tension, feeling disappointed by the Grand Canyon, cabinetry, social work, new machines, minor classics, wishing, washing, watching and being watched, getting what you deserve, Las Vegas, this generation, the human and the divine, trees, grit, guts, topical solutions, the moment you start feeling bored, headaches, sleep, touching everything you own, moods, my nephew, doing laundry, a totally different way of thinking about information, haircuts, show business, what it means to be part of a group, cliches, settees, boredom, stardom, psoriasis, goodness, fictionalized versions of autobiographical material, my parents, work, frivolity, piety, coffee, sitting, shitting, the field, a wide variety of sources, long and hard. What's coming up for you? Something I heard yesterday on the radio, the automatic, idiom, a big rock, simple explanations for everything, the fourth leading cause of death in the U.S., where the wall meets the ceiling, dust, maritime disasters, GI issues, tube tops, chapped lips, sitcom laugh tracks, motion sickness, collapse, then you understand why, shoplifting, meaningless errands, vague doubt, a persistent cough, elasticity, simultaneity, accumulation, zest, zeal, larger-than-life figures, folklore, jealousy, sequels, shopping, arriving in New York, departing New York, wind. I'd Like to Make 5 or 6 Points About by Hayley Stahl, used without permission here on the Writer's Allman Brother, supported by Wyclef Y-Fronts. Why underwear your muffin cuddlers when you can overwear Wyclef? The knickers that say, Fuji, your nutsack looks auspicious. Until next week, be well, jump the gun, and don't be sad.